Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about suffering and the overcoming of suffering. Um, well, right now I have a stomach ache a little bit, and it's just a good example of just some sufferings that are really hard or impossible to avoid 100% in life. Sometimes we get stomach aches, sometimes we get headaches, sometimes we have we have cramps, and there's the little sufferings in life. Um, but for the most part, um, suffering is pretty much overcomable. Um, we can overcome most of the suffering in life, and a lot of our suffering is caused by our mind. Our mind creates a lot of suffering that isn't needed. And by living in the moment, you can get rid of most of suffering. Um, because most of suffering comes from negative thoughts. And by living in the moment and living in your senses, you can not think these thoughts. But you also can take the correct actions and avoid a lot of suffering. But we're only humans, so we're all gonna suffer at some point, a little bit, in some way. Most of us, quite a bit. It's just a part of life. There's nothing to do to 100% avoid it. I'm a Buddhist, and I know about suffering, and I work at overcoming it through the Eightfold Path. And what I find is that still sometimes, like today, I wind up with a stomach ache. I might wind up with a headache. There's just the little pains and sufferings of life, but you can overcome it for the most part. By following the Eightfold Path and doing the right thing. And living in the moment is a part of that. The best way to cope with suffering is to live in the moment and to, accept the fact that life has suffering. That's the best way to go about suffering. Is just, obviously work at not creating suffering. But living in the moment and accepting the fact that life has suffering. We're going to suffer a little bit. It's just life. We can get rid of most of it, but a lot of it's unavoidable. Kind of like my stomach ache that I have right now. So guys, I just wish you all the freedom from suffering. And I recommend that you get into Buddhism. It can help you overcome a lot of the suffering in life. Yep. Bye.